That is a great topic because character is something that we don't really see modeled a whole bunch in our culture, not in our current culture. We see that it's okay if somebody catches your eye, you can flirt, you can start a quote, innocuous relationship with someone like via text or at the office or, I've even seen this happen at churches. When we work with people, it's amazing the things that come out. And almost all of them, I would say, probably if we could just raise the character of the people inside the relationship, everything changes. And it's usually not a whole lot of points of up-leveling character per person, if you're going to really break it down. Character-based relationships are those where there is a very high speed of trust because the talk and the walk of the partners is consistent. So you have consistency in what you say and what you actually do. Like we can have integrity, but character is integrity in motion. Are you, like, you can know what's right and what's wrong, but character is acting in favor of what you know is right. Now, I know people that will say, yeah, but that's right for me. I mean, it's right for me. Like I could never just be with one person. Then you need to be with someone who also doesn't want to be with one person. That's your gig. I can't really speak to that because I'm not wired that way at all. I am wired to have character-based relationships. And I actually see those relationships absolutely flourish. They just absolutely flourish the higher the level of character that shows up inside each day. So if you're in a relationship where you can't really speak up, you're not in a character-based relationship. If you're giving yourself excuses for why you're meeting this guy for coffee, even though you're in a committed relationship, partnership, or marriage, don't kid yourself there. That cannot end well. It will not end well. It won't end well for you. It won't end well for them, because when our talk doesn't, in our walk, they don't line up. Like if our walk is a certain way, but we're saying something different, we're saying this is who we are, and then we're watching it modeled on TV that, people have affairs, or they, whatever the thing is that you see modeled. As soon as you open the door to that, you've completely undermined your character-based relationship. No relationship will be great and long-term if it's not grounded first in character. If you have people that work for you and you tell them one thing, but you do another, not good. Not good, and it deteriorates the speed of trust. And I think everybody can probably relate to that on a professional level or a career level, where you've either experienced that or maybe even caused it, right? And didn't have a good outcome. You didn't make more money long term because of it. You didn't have more loyal employees long term because of what you did. Character-based relationships are always relationships that are being created for the vision. And they acknowledge, they're mature enough to acknowledge that along the way, the partners may grow at different rates and in different ways, but there's a commitment to the whole of the partnership, that their walk will always match up to their talk. So they have to talk. There's something that you have to share between you if you're going through a period like this. But don't get pulled off into the ditch. There's nothing glamorous about relationships where one partner is walking a completely different walk than their talk. Eventually the other partner will get tired of trying to figure it out, thinking it's them. At some point, they'll probably figure out it isn't them. And the person whose hands are dirty they just have a bigger path back if it's even available to them. Sometimes it's not even available. You've burned a bridge. Important for your walk to match your talk in relationships, period. Partner relationships, family relationships, even more important, because this is your core, this is your core group that you're here on earth with, right? That inner circle. You want to really, truly work on that. But I'll tell you, as you back it up, if your own talk and your own walk aren't matching up in your life, it will show up in your relationship. It doesn't even have to be like that you're going out to have coffee with someone, or you're texting with someone that's of the opposite sex, who you know there's this flirtation or whatever going on. Even if you engage in that and you think it's very benign, it's not benign because you know. So it hurts you, it whittles away. Your own character is being compromised in that process. But I can say that to myself about going to the gym. I'm on a new fitness kick. It's late in starting it, but I'm in it, right? Now I have to leverage, like I have to leverage my peer accountability until my own accountability is so strong that I can just, my walk and my talk on my fitness and health match up every single day, right? Well, let's take that to a relationship. Who can you be accountable to about your relationship? Because if you have fallen into a pattern of porn, if you've fallen into a pattern of texting, people you shouldn't, or going out for lunch with someone that you know really likes you in a way that isn't just because you're great at your job or can provide a great service, or you're, to them on a professional level, this. Don't open the door on that. It's so unfair to the partnership, because the partnership doesn't even know that's going on. It's fighting a battle that it doesn't even know exists. The character says you step up and you voice the change that you desire. You feel strong you have to have that communication in a partnership. Be good to yourself. Walk the walk that you should walk, and carry that over to your relationships. Like, make sure that your walk and your talk is matching up. And I'll tell you, every day, it's an intentional activity. You can up-level your character where things that you accepted maybe before about yourself, or ways that you acted or whatever, you just would not accept anymore. But there's always another level that you can master. I mean, I find that all the time. Right when I think I've really mastered, such and such, guess what? I find out that there's another level to be mastered. So a lot of times people hire coaches specifically for accountability, because that period of time then has lasting results. It up levels them. If you have a friend who has a high quality value system, that's the key here. Because if you associate with someone and you're in a tricky point in your life, and you start associating and getting inputs from people who absolutely don't walk from a higher bar, you're just setting yourself up to have a lot of things in your life crash and burn that don't need to crash and burn. So I'm sure we'll talk more on this. Character's a really, really, really important component of any long-term, happy, fulfilling relationship. And it doesn't get talked about enough. Character-based relationships. You'll point to them. You'll admire them. You'll notice them, because they're not that common.